I'll start off with being completely honest. So when I was asked to join the secondment for this project, I really didn't agree with it. I didn't feel that resources were being pooled in the right place. We know that there's so many really desperate patients needing other surgeries, particularly hip patients who are way more disabled. It didn't sit well with me. The knee patients are getting what sounded like, really comprehensive service with a lot of input, where these poor other patients were being left, in my view. I went in with it. I thought, well, okay, I'm going to go in with an open mind. I'll do what I can and I'll do what's asked of me. Got involved, and quite soon on into learning more about it, it became very clear to me that, something that could be quite fantastic. Well, we're over 6 months now into it, and I think it's an absolutely fantastic service. I totally believe could just make a huge difference to all our patients. We're getting really positive feedback from all of our patients who are saying that it's been life-changing for them. We're not only helping them optimize their health, we are doing OT specific things for them. We're providing them with equipment that can make their life a lot easier, make them independent and safer at home. More often than not, they've got other joints that are severely arthritic, particularly their hips as well. As OTs, I think we're managing to help.
What I find has proven to be very successful is the input from the occupational therapy team. So myself and a colleague, I feel now we're identifying patients far sooner that are likely to need some adaptations at home. We're able to provide assessments and offer adaptations and even signpost. And I think what that's doing then is ironing out any issues prior to the patients coming in, and we're hopefully improving their safety. And as I said earlier, their independence, and in the hope as well that we're going to provide a much smoother and streamlined discharge from hospital. So I think that's proven very valuable there as well. The occupational therapy team has done quite well to support that.
Observing patients walking into these sessions, really hobbling in, and some of them can be quite frail, even though they might be fairly young. Cohort of patients, they're still quite frail, and they've lost a lot of mobility because of lack of confidence. They've not been going out so much. They've probably come in with quite a negative mindset as well, and they're a bit frustrated, but they've engaged, maybe a little bit reluctantly, but they've engaged with what we've been encouraging them to do, and they've done it, and they've done a session, and they've walked away from the sessions just feeling so much more positive. They've really enjoyed the session, and they keep coming back. So patients that didn't enjoy it or really found it difficult wouldn't turn up, would they? They wouldn't come to the rest of the appointment. They're all coming back religiously. And if they can't make it on a certain week, they're always really keen to say, oh, can I come back the following week? And more importantly, I think because they are meeting people who are in a very similar state to themselves, or they're sharing the same experience that they're having, then they're finding that really valuable. So definitely the peer support is a huge benefit to them. They don't feel alone because they're sharing that time with other people that are in a similar situation. What's really valuable for them as well is that they're also meeting patients that have had surgeries as well. So they're seeing patients that have had their knee replacements and their progress, how they're recovering. That cohort of patients then are really helping to support the pre-operative patients. And as healthcare staff, we can give them lots and lots of information. We can give them lots of encouragement and confidence building stuff, but unless it comes from somebody that's actually lived through that experience, that's where the value comes in as well. They're getting that information and encouragement and positivity from the patients that have already been through Prepare Well. More often than not, they've gone into hospital, had their surgery, and they can see how well they're doing post-operatively. And not only that, we're encouraging people to change lifestyle habits as well. We're encouraging them to maintain their activity levels. And we've got patients, coming in their 80s who perhaps have never stepped foot inside a leisure centre before, or even thought to even come into a leisure centre. They're looking towards registering and joining up as a member. To see people that are changing habits or giving them a confidence to even continue their exercise, brilliant in that sense. The leisure centres aren't classed as being a hospital site. There are patients that are finding it difficult to get there. They might not have the transport to get us, particularly after surgery, if they don't have anyone to bring them to or even the financial means to pay for taxis and things, is that they definitely need some form of transport to get to these appointments. It's really important they come for their post-operative physiotherapy support from us then. So transport can be a barrier for patients that don't have family and friends to bring them. Staffing, we haven't got enough staff. you've got clinicians doing admin roles because we haven't got administrators to help us. It's a very busy service anyway, because it's taken us away from really fulfilling our roles within the service then as well. So that's a bit frustrating on times. I think, like I said, for me, it's been really valuable because I've gone into it not really believing in the service or agreeing with it. To see its value now is huge.